of all, has everyone signed in? So we know you're here. Where's my hand? Well, maybe this is, yeah, this is your hand. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. The minutes from the November 7th regular meeting were available for your review. I assume that has been done. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No.
If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the minutes.
Mr. Donahoe has moved to
Second.
approve the minutes. Ms. Robinson has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
After you were so nice to go and get that. Now, is that better?
That's better.
All right. We had a little mix-up on the old business. Some of you may have an item under old business, and some of you may not. We're not going to consider that right now. So is there any business, old business to be discussed?
We were gonna discuss the balconies. Did you not want to do that?
Well, mine doesn't have anything on it, so.
No, but we discussed it a little while ago. We were gonna use.
Oh, as far as moving it,
Mhm.
yes, all right. The chair will entertain a motion to, let me find it, amend the
last one.
agenda, 120506 of Kermit Ferris at the St. Denis Place condominiums on 780 Front Street. We need a motion to amend the agenda and move that up to old business.
I so move.
Ms. Salter has moved. Is there a
Second.
second? Ms. Robinson has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So 120506 has been moved up into old business, and that is Kermit Ferris and the St. Denis Place condominiums. Do you want to tell them what has occurred as far as what we know?
For the balconies?
Uh-huh.
So the last time they came, they told us that they were gonna actually, I guess you say, support the balconies.
Right.
They were gonna present something, which they did. They brought in what they planned to do, the structure of the beams. But I haven't heard anything since then, so I'm assuming everything was fine. They pulled the permits, they did the work,
Okay.
we had our festival, nothing failed. But I haven't gotten anything else to know if they're gonna do anything else. I think they're still waiting on additional plans for how they plan to move for supporting the balconies without the structures.
That was
Right.
my understanding, that after the
Yeah.
festival, they were gonna go in, cut out some
Right.
holes, go in the walls, check and see as
Yeah.
far as the structure
Replace all of
stability
that, yeah.
went.
I didn't expect to hear back from them until at least January. to be
Right.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there's no action that needs to be taken on 120506 for old business.
You know, we just made them submit an
Okay.
application because they didn't on last meeting.
Okay. Let's move into, we need a motion to move back to the original motion.
I move to, we return to new business.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Mr. Donahoe, seconded by Ms. Salter. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And I said the wrong word. It's, we moved back into the original agenda, so that's what we voted on. Is that correct? That, as far as what you moved and seconded?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting hoarse. Let's move directly into new business, 120501, Joan Willis, 132 Pavy, that's for ratification. Is there a motion to ratify?
So moved.
Mr. Donahoe has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Owens has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And that was for ratification. 120502, the Key W store, which is on the corner of Front and Church Street. That was emergency gutter replacement. That too is for ratification. Is there a motion to ratify?
So move. Oh,
Or second.
Who did?
Marion moved and
Okay.
Steve.
okay.
Marion moved to ratify. Dr. Horton seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. 120503, Todd Working, 321 Second Street. This is a paint application. There you are. Would you come up to the podium.
I'm Todd Working, and I'm trying to get my house painted on 321 Second Street.
Is that the one across from the church?
And these are existing colors. They've been that color for over 35 years.
You had it that long?
Huh?
Gee.
30 years.
So you're just replacing the existing colors? I move to approve the
I'll
application.
second.
Mr. Donahoe has moved to approve the application as presented. Ms. Salter has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposition? Okay, thank you, Mr. Working, and you have the next one also. 120504, 125 Pine Street, that too is for paint.
Uh-huh.
Same thing.
It's same paint colors as well.
Move to approve.
Second. All right, Mr. Donahoe has moved to approve the application as presented. Ms. Robinson has seconded. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, all right. You have
Thank
your
you.
paintbrushes ready?
Huh?
Your properties are so pretty. and-
Oh, thank you.
If you want to
Appreciate
give me your ginkgo tree behind the house, behind the Henry's
Want it
home, I'll take it.
that. You
So
want to trim
jealous.
it for me? It needs a little trimming.
Yeah, I'm jealous of it every time I walk out of my office.
Thank you.
Got to drive down Williams Avenue too. There are so many trees that have the fall colors. Okay, 120505, Zachary, 911 Washington Street, deck demolition.
The deck.
120505. That's 911 Washington.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Same thing.
It's the same? Ms. Rock, do you want to inform the commissioners about our conversation a few minutes ago as far as what these people want with the little garage and the deck?
Okay, so what,
Oh, sure, I'm sorry, yeah, if you'll go up there.
Come on, Mrs. Zach.
And it's not demolition of the house, commissioners.
No, it's not, it's the demolition of the back structure and a small garage.
Okay. And the, do you have,
I'm sorry, what was the question?
okay, do you have 120505?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Kenneth David Zachary, but everybody calls me Zach, so.
Okay.
We bought the house, and there's a small garage, and I apologize, there's not more detail here, but I was just able to throw this together. The small garage is in really bad shape. It's rotten and starting to fall down. And it's also attached to a wooden deck that is also very dangerous and falling down. If you see the pictures there,
It's the same thing.
it's, our insurance company has a, reason we're trying to push this through, what we want to do is just go ahead and demo this part of it. We're going to be doing, some more work on the property and trying to, and we'll come before y'all for those things. But we just want to move forward as quickly as possible and get this dangerous situation under control.
Sure.
And then we also, and part of that is the garage. And if you look, I put a picture of what it looks like from the road. You can see just a little bit of it. We'll probably come back and probably seek just to put a privacy fence there where the garage is. But it's falling down as well. And if you look, the electrical's really, I don't think was ever up to code or anything.
It was for years. I mean, it's fallen apart for years.
So are you looking for approval to demolish the garage and this decking?
Yeah, that's all we're looking to demolish at this, well, that's all we're gonna look to demolish.
And then it's not attached to the house?
It's not attached to the house.
Yeah, that looks extremely dangerous.
It
Like I
does.
said, it's not original to the house.
No, it's
No.
not.
I'll move to approve that application.
I'll second it.
Dr. Horton has moved to approve the application as presented, and the second was Dr. Owens. or-
Jared.
Is Mr. Donahoe. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That'd be a big improvement,
Yeah,
big improvement.
all right. We've moved Kermit Ferris. You have not heard anything? You have not heard anything from Mr. Methvin and I'm sorry, I was looking at Nicole, but haven't heard anything, okay. Mr. Methvin and Mr. Rhodes had asked to come tonight concerning the project possible project at the corner of Kaiser and the church, not the Church Street, the Williams Avenue Bridge. And there are a lot of restrictions, there's some setbacks. DOTD has authority, some authority, as far as what can and cannot be done. So I guess they didn't get here. But I'll check back with them. They actually are very concerned about the construction of something down there.
They're wanting to construct something down there?
The lot's been for sale. Mr. Payroll owns the lot, and it's been for sale.
Oh, I'm thinking the Evans lot at the Williams Avenue Bridge.
No.
Okay, all right.
You're at the wrong place.
Yes,
Wrong-
I'm
wrong
following you
bridge.
now. Okay.
So which side of the street is it? Is it right next to the bridge where they're trying to build up that dirt?
It is, that's exactly where it is.
No, that.
Next to the Edward Jones
What are
office.
they wanting to build there?
Well, what has been in the mill, as far as hoping what would happen, was that the city and the Cane River Waterway Commission would partner, and in partnering, they would be able to develop that area a little bit.
Into what?
Well, there's several considerations.
I think one of them was like a place to go fishing and.
Well,
Public
the
area.
Cane River,
It
a
wasn't
public
gonna-
area, not
It
a
wasn't gonna
garden.
Into condos or anything?
No, it was
Oh,
like a
no,
park
no,
or
no.
something, yeah.
Okay.
The lot
Yeah,
is,
fishing and
Ms.
just
Robinson,
enjoying
what
the
is
water.
the linear footage across that lot?
Any kind
I think it's only
They were gonna
about
find
50
it.
to 60 feet across,
Payne was gonna.
if that
design it.
much.
Wasn't
But
it-
then most of it, you still have to
Scooter.
look at how much is designated for right-of-way for the bridge. But I think the only usable amount of that is only like 50 feet, I think.
Yeah, it's, I'm not sure what you could build there. But DOTD, of course, would have restrictions, and they don't want people sitting underneath the bridge, fishing or boating or whatever. There was some consideration at one point of, what do you call the paddle?
Paddle boats as a
Well, not
place
paddle
to.
boats, but the ones that you use.
Canoes?
No, not canoes, not a kayak, no, not a kayak, that you get on the board and you use a pole.
Oh, you're talking about you standing up and doing it, yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
guess,
paddleboard.
maybe it is a paddle. Well, anyway, that was one consideration, that there just been a lot of discussion about it, so evidently they couldn't come tonight, so we'll see what happens in January.
So on that little piece of property, looks like they've been trying to stabilize it, but whenever it rains, it still drops off a little bit and you have to come back and put more dirt.
Well, that would be their problem, not
Yeah.
ours.
Mhm.
We would,
Yeah, that's,
we would just,
That's payroll.
Scooters had
costs.
that
Yeah,
thing sold like
that's-
7
We just
times.
built it up, so it looked.
Yeah, and then
to
now
give you
it
an
backs
idea.
out.
okay. Is there any other new business to come? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith.
It would be old.
You're old. You're old business. You are old business, all right. But you're, let's see, do you have the linear footage? I do. Okay. Okay, wait, just one second.
Then I'll make a motion that
we have to
move
amend
the
the
agenda
agenda.
back into old business to discuss, it's not on here, but whatever his was.
Was it
Cane River Kitchenware.
Right, back into Cane River Kitchenware from our last meeting.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second motion.
Ms. Salter has moved to move this, you've moved to move Mr. Smith back into old business. And who seconded?
I did.
Ms. Robinson seconded. All in favor? Okay. All right, now, Mr. Smith. If you don't mind, please.
While he's walking up there, is this involving a sign?
Yes.
Okay, I just
You
wanted to make sure.
remember at our last meeting, he wasn't here, and I was concerned that when you put both signs there, it would go over the amount of allowance for his place of business.
Yes, so good afternoon, everybody. I think I have an unusual situation where I'm going to want to put 2 signs there, so
This
I'm
is
not.
Cane River Kitchenware.
Yes, ma'am. So our business, we have Cane River Kitchenware and also Sweet D's Bakery in the same location, pre-existing location where we already have Cane River Kitchenware sign. It's been there for around 16 years, I believe. So the unusual situation is that I would like to present it to the public as if it were two different businesses inside the one place.
So
Now,
multiple businesses.
so multiple business inside the one place. So I guess that's unusual and probably uncharted territory. So sorry for being a nuisance, first off. Second, I'm not exactly sure what the dimensions I need to meet. So I did use this little bitty tape measure to go pull my measurements to the best of my ability. And I did come up with a linear footage of 20 feet. So I would definitely like to go pull that again with a tape measure that's adequate. So, but with that being said, if there's some dimensions that I need to meet, if I can just get the equation and I can calculate it and then either present it.
Who remembers the calculation?
It's in the statute, I don't have
It
the
is,
statute.
I have it, I don't remember it, but I do have it in the
It's
office.
30 inches per linear foot.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some other multiple
Yeah,
businesses.
yeah, but we had a precedent setting that would be in his favor. It was when they opened that small on the side, across from, on St. Denis Street, I wanna say. You remember it was multiple businesses inside
Oh,
that?
with the little craft
Antique
shop.
And they hung on, we gave them an allowance to hang
Right.
on the multiple businesses because there were 4 or 5 in there and the frontage was so limited.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Cunningham property. it's
Yeah,
different.
it was something that was to your benefit that we worked with, or is it 1.5 times? We
The number of
were able to adjust it to be the same
Yeah.
as a corner, because
Yeah.
there was multiple businesses in there.
Well,
Or we gave them each the 20, or I just remember we had to make an allowance.
And maybe we can look back at that, but we'll work with you.
Yeah.
If, Ms. Rock, would you be willing to go on site with him, and Ms. Salter said she would?
Do you know the
With the
current size of
authority.
your sign now?
No, I do not. I have some dimensions that Signs and Banners was working with me on, but I don't know that off the top of my
Well,
head.
let's put this into committee with
Yeah, I'll be glad
with
to,
Ms.
and,
Rock and Ms. Salter, and you would have the authority, you would
Sure.
have the authority to approve.
It won't take long to
Is that
do that.
agreeable with you, Commissioner?
I moved to form a committee, to, evaluate, does this have an application number?
It's old
The-
business.
It was
A.
under old business.
What's your address?
732 Front Street.
I make a motion, we form a committee to evaluate the application regarding the sign located at 732 Front Street
Cane River Kitchenware.
for Cane River Kitchenware.
Second the motion.
All right. All right, and that will be Ms. Rock and Ms. Salter. And you would have the authority, is that agreeable with you to have the authority to commissioners to let,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be encompassed in my motion, yes, ma'am.
okay? All in favor? Any opposition? Okay, very good. All right, and Ms. Rock, would you coordinate with Ms. Salter?
Stay just a second afterwards and we'll set up a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that would be the easiest, that would be the easiest thing to do. All right. Our next meeting is Monday, January the 9th. I can't believe we're talking about Mondays.
I've got a
And
question.
Januaries. Yes, sir.
I don't know if it comes up in, I think it probably is old business. I was driving by the, I don't even know what's it called now, the brewery, Flying, what is it? Flying Heart. And I noticed that they have at least one, maybe it was two. Two temporary banner signs that are attached to the fence on the city, I think it's the city's property, that are, one, I think way too big for our statute, and two, I think we didn't approve them, and they're temporary in nature. I don't know if we need to have them, come back to us with
I
what their.
think they do. I think they need to come to us with another idea. I've
What do
even
they
thought of.
They they don't even advertise a
called-
temporary event, it just says
No,
the
it
name of
says
their
The
business.
brewery,
Oh.
the name, yeah, and then the next right or something like that. And then you go a little bit further and then it's the next right. So it needs to be adjusted down to size, appropriate size, and placement.
And I bet you they've already used up all of their they're on the big sign they got on their building that we've already approved.
Probably so.
Remember, we went through all that lighting with Daniel Page?
Oh, yeah.
The Creole Cottage, we made them come back and do a permanent sign
Yeah.
too.
But they already have a permanent sign. They're just putting up additional signage.
Yeah, that's right.
And that property is so dangerous anyway.
It's a curve.
And it is a city property too, that they've attached it
Yeah,
to.
it's not even on
It's
their
not
property.
even their property,
Yeah.
so they need to be
Alright.
informed.
Ms.
and-
Rock, can you inform them, please, by letter, what the issue is, and, so it's just the name of the business?
It has some more stuff, I just don't remember what all it says.
Okay.
No, it has a lot of information
And then
on
there's
it.
another little sign that's right before you get to the big sign.
It may be, I do, that's how, I think there are two signs,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, if Ms. Rock will send a letter to them and maybe even citing in the ordinance as far as what's to be considered.
Gotcha.
Okay, is that agreeable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
I move to adjourn.
Mr. Donahoe has moved to
Second.
I have,
adjourn.
oh goodness, I did have one other
Oh,
thing,
I'm
just to,
sorry.
I don't know if anybody's been down Two Line, but on Saturday, right there where the building used to be a paint shop, it's the old oval-looking building, right there on the corner of, it's Two Line and Fifth Street.
Fifth Street,
Oh, okay.
You have that daycare center, you have
Right.
this building that's
Oh, yeah.
oval-shaped,
right.
and there's a daycare center. Well, right in between those two structures was an oak tree, a massive oak tree, and they chopped it down.
Oh, no.
Who owns the property?
So one is, well, don't make me lie, because I talked to the two gentlemen. It's two gentlemen, and they both was arguing about who should be responsible for whatever fines and fees. One guy used to be a council person that owns the daycare center, and then this other property was just recently bought at a tax sale.
Was the oak tree dead?
No.
And the reasoning for it?
Well, the guy that owned the daycare center, is actually his tree on his property, but it was hanging over to the other person's property. And this person was having a fit because the tree was falling too much on his property. So he asked the neighbor to at least cut it off his tree. cut the tree
On
off
his
his
side.
property, and the guys ended up chopping the whole tree down.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I
There's a
was
fine for
wondering.
that.
Well, there's, yeah, I mean, it's a city ordinance as far
ordinance.
as oak trees are protected.
I just think you refer to the city attorney for whatever, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a specific ordinance.
Well, there
that
is
deals-
something that says there's a $150 fine. I told him it was 200, so.
Yeah, they can split it between them.
Well, isn't it a federal law that you can't cut an oak tree down anymore?
I don't know about a
There- I
federal
mean,
law. I
there's
know
a-
it's one for HDC and for the city of Natchitoches, but,
I
Don't
for
know.
some reason think it's a federal law.
but no, that tree wasn't dead. It wasn't dying. It was still pretty, very light color, very vibrant, so it
goodness.
wasn't dying.
I haven't
Well,
been by there in a while.
And I think Mr. Donahoe is correct. Make Tommy Murkison aware of that. And then we can certainly see, all we can do is hopefully educate people about the importance of these trees and the beauty and, but like you said, there is a specific ordinance.
Yeah, I just think the way you inform it is you make an example out of somebody who does it. But that's Tommy's decision, I would think. Well, I would just defer to our city attorney.
Okay?
He's not the city attorney, is he?
Yeah, I think, yeah, he's still,
He's still helping?
He's the one
yeah,
that
he's still
can
assistant
answer.
city attorney.
Okay, is there any other business to come before the commission? If not, we are in
Second.
adjourn mode. Well, we did that, didn't we?
Yes, we
Yeah.
need to
You
vote.
hit the gavel.
All in